awful, awful. Alright guys, so today we're going to do just a quick little job here. If you guys, I know I've mentioned this several times, when I put the Super ATV arched A-arms on my Pioneer 1000, the 12-inch rims here that come on the non-deluxe models are not big enough to clear the massive A-arm here. If you can see how this part right here it's rusting. When my suspension flexes, the A-arm here in the back is actually rubbing and it's grinding away the rim. Now the 14-inch deluxe rims should be able to clear no problem, so I've been keeping my eye out for some used or factory takeoffs, and I happened to luck out here at the Pioneer Takeover and was able to score me a set of not only the 14-inch deluxe rims, but they're also wrapped in 28-inch ITB Blackwater rubber. So not only did I find my rims, I found a slightly bigger, more aggressive tire. So I'm going to swap these out here real quick. My little helper is up there, although he's a little preoccupied right now. He's going to give me a hand and we should be good to go as far as eliminating that rubbing. I think I'll just work on it right out here in the nice sunshine since we finally have gotten some. Another benefit to switching the tires out on the 1000 is the stock tires that are on the 1000, because they're 12-inch rims, they'll fit perfectly here on my 500. If you can see, these big horns that I have on my 500 right now are getting a little worn down. Both of the back tires I have tubes in because they don't hold air. There's a big plug in the one on the other side. So as a double bonus, I'm going to take the stock tires off the 1000 and throw them on the 500 because it has 12-inch rims as well. Huh. Uh-oh. That might give me problems. I broke my valve stem remover. Probably should get a good metal one. And then that wouldn't happen. Well, crap. It's not a good way to start off phase 2 of this project. Well, that's going to take a little bit. Who even needs the bar? Now another thing I'm going to do while I'm at it, since the two big horns on the front of the 500 are in pretty good shape, I'll go ahead and throw at least one of them on one of the rims for the 1000, and then we'll have at least a spare tire for it, if ever the need arises. Well, I'm running out of places to throw my junk. Alright, that's taken me about 40 minutes to let the air out and pull 2 tires off of 2 rims, which is way too long if you ask me, so I'm going to go to the hardware and get me a proper valve stem remover. A good metal one this time that won't strip out like that. Plus, I'm out of silicone lubricant. Alright, enough playing around. This ought to do us a lot better than them plastic junk things I had. Whew! You gotta love that smell. Just like that. We will save it for a rainy day. So another reason why I wanted to switch these bighorns out, even though there is a little bit of tread left, is these are only 4-ply. The factory takeoffs from the 1000 are 6-ply, so a little bit tougher tire. One for the garbage pile. Luckily I kept my valve stems when I threw the tubes in there, so I'll be able to put them back on. See if I can find them. Sometimes I just like to see how much junk I can get in my way. Oh, there's poor Zippy. For you guys that are asking about Zippy, don't worry. I will get back to him. But there's just other pressing matters ahead that my funds must go to. Which, if you guys enjoy the content I create, you can help me be able to get to projects like this faster by heading over to patreon.com/Appalachian Mountain Riders and becoming a monthly supporter of the content I create. And one of the downsides to working a second shift is I just get in the groove of working and it's time to pack things up and get ready for work. But anyway, time to move on to the front of my machine here. I think the first thing I'm going to do before I mess with these tires, I'm going to jack it up, pull the tires off, and see if I can't figure out what this awful noise is coming from. And again, it sounds like to me it's coming from the steering rack. So I'm thinking I get the tires off where I can pull my boots loose and add a little grease to her will be a first step, and hopefully taking care of that. But we'll see. So here's an interesting development here, which could really not mean anything, but once I got my 500 jacked up and got the wheels off the ground, it seems to have mostly eliminated the squeak. It still does it a little bit if I turn very, very slowly, but without pressure on stuff, it's not near as bad. Now, I'm still thinking that it's coming from the steering rack, because again, with the wheels jacked up, it wouldn't have to have as much pressure to spin the wheels because there's no weight on them. But and actually, now that I have this up, yeah, I'm pretty much almost certain that that's coming from the steering rack. Now I can, for whatever reason, seem to hear it a little better with it raised up. And it might actually just be, whoa, get the camera away from my face. And it might actually just be, from the sound of it, from this passenger side. So we'll pull that boot loose, add a little grease to her, and see if that doesn't fix our problem. Alright guys, while I work on this, I'm going to try something a little bit different here I've been wanting to do for a while. But I think what I will try to do while I'm working on stuff is play around here with giving you guys kind of a first person perspective. There, I can't talk. So we'll see how this guy works, and if you guys kind of like this kind of view while I'm working on stuff using this funny looking guy on my head, even though it probably does look quite goofy, then I may continue to use this a little more. The nice thing with using this is it'll probably allow me to work a little faster. I won't have to take so much time setting up cameras to get all them odd angles when I have this right here, just like you're looking at somewhat my own eyeballs. Alright, so I have my wife come out and spin this for me while I listened to try to pinpoint where this is coming from a little more closer. And I do have my suspicions that it may actually be my upper ball joint. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull my tie rod off, and then spin this, and then spin my steering knuckle by hand to see if I still get the same squeak. And of course that means dealing with all these nice fun pins. Urgh. You guys can see I did already tried just lithium greasing these guys to no avail, so that didn't seem to solve the problem. The squeak doesn't seem to be hurting the performance any. It's just annoying as all get out. Easy enough. Pop that loose. It's stuck on there pretty good. Stay back, bud. There we go. Watch out, bud. Don't block the camera view. People will be able to see me. Now you're going to shake the tire and give everyone motion sickness, aren't you? No, don't shake them. They'll have an earthquake. All right. So now with that unhooked and turning it, all I hear is a squeak from the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and unhook the other side as well and see how much noise I get turning the steering wheel. It's seeming like to me that it's definitely my ball joints. Alright, so now let's turn the wheel and see if we squeak. Not a bit. So that's telling me that it's my ball joints that are squeaking. It really seems to be the upper ones. I'm going to try to do my best to get in here and grease all this stuff up to see if it helps. If not, maybe what's happened is these boots might have tore a little bit, micro tear or something that I can't actually see. And I've gotten dust up in them. Yeah, this lighting's awful and I can't even see with my eye, let alone with the camera, so I'm going to stop trying to get you guys in there to take a look at them. I'll grease them up, see if that doesn't solve the problems. If not, then it's probably looking like I'll have to get some new ball joints. Now, by the sound of it, I think it is just my uppers. Yeah, I'd say it's probably definitely just my uppers. So I don't need to replace those, but we'll see if I can get it quiet by coating it with some good grease first. Alright guys, you can see I've got everything back together. I hit them with grease as much as I could and as best as I could. There is no play in the ball joints, so the ball joints themselves aren't bad. I'm just thinking they probably maybe got dirt or dust in them, which means they'll probably eventually go bad here. But they're not bad for time being, so we're going to just kind of deal with it for now. I did. Now putting the grease to it did help dramatically. It's not near as bad as it was. So I'm hoping as that grease works in there a little more as I ride, it'll help to lessen the noise. So we'll just have to, I'll just make sure to keep an eye on my ball joints and check for play frequently to see if they're wearing out and going bad and replace them when time comes. But enough messing around with this. Let's get these other tires swapped out so I can get back on the trails with this guy. Time to take a break and eat. Oh, I think I ate a little bit too much. One tire left to go and we'll have this minor project all finished up. Oh, I put it on there backwards. Just kidding. Well, it didn't really solve our squeaking problem. I don't know, maybe riding a little bit and working that grease in the ball joints will help it a bit. Maybe not. Possibly still could be the steering rack, and it just didn't make as much noise because there was no weight or tension without the steering knuckles hooked up. Not exactly sure, but I do have a project coming up here in the next month or so. I'll be tearing the front end off of this anyway. I can check stuff over a little closer come that time. For now, I'll just grin and bear it, put up with it. The nice thing is usually at riding speed, it doesn't make any noise at all. It's just at slow speed or when I'm stopped, it makes a noise. Actually, it sounds like I got squeaks coming from all over the place. Anywho, now that I've gotten these 6-ply tires from the 1000 on here, I'll feel a little more confident out on the trail and won't be quite so leery about getting a flat tire because of a stick or rock puncture. So I say that's a job well done and well worth the effort. One more thing before I go today, I do have my shirts now available for sale. Don't have them up on my website yet, but I will pin a post on my Appalachian Mountain Riders Facebook page that will give you the details on how you can order. Supplies are limited right now, so I get a feel for what sizes are going to sell the most, and I will be just kind of ordering more as my inventory depletes. So make sure you hurry up and get your orders in before supplies run out and you have to wait till I get more ordered. So I hope your day goes well for you, or if you're watching this in the evening, it's gone well for you, and until next time, keep on riding. Appalachian Mountain Riders is brought to you in part by the following. The Honda Side-by-Side Club, because who knows the machines better than the owners that use them every day. Walker Evans Racing. When the path requires more than just ordinary, head on over to walkerevansracing.com. Torque Locker from Torque Masters Industries. When you want to explore the unexplored, head on over to torquemasters.com. And by my gracious supporters on Patreon.